Hey fellas, and welcome back to With a Y, and Silksong is real. There's a release date. It's September 4th. It's coming out in 2 weeks. This is like a weirdly full circle moment for this channel, because when I started uploading here frequently back in like March, it was about the Deltarune fandom going through essentially the same thing that Silksong was doing, where they were just begging for a release date and just any ounce of news about what was going on with the franchise. Silksong and Deltarune ended up getting confirmed for the same year in the same Nintendo Direct, and recently at Gamescom, one of Jeff Keighley's game announcement circuits, we got official confirmation that it was coming out this year, and it was like weirdly done, because Team Cherry, the studio behind Silksong and Hollow Knight prior, like they were playing like real tongue-in-cheek. The countdown is on. Join us in 48 hours for a special announcement about Hollow Knight. Like, the Jeff Keighley announcement wasn't the trailer, it was the announcement for the announcement. And with all this build-up for like what was supposed to be a premiere, a lot of people thought it was going to get shadow dropped, which wasn't the case, but it got an official release for September 4th, and understandably, naturally, the internet was like on fucking fire over this whole thing. And I have not seen an explosion of joy on my Twitter feed in like such a long time. The next time I will probably see this kind of collective joy is when it happens. It is very funny, because apparently the reason that this game took so long wasn't like some internal strife or the fact that like the game was in development hell. Team Cherry gave like an interview to Jason Schreier, and apparently they just like were having too much fun making shit. You're always working on a new idea, new item, new area, new boss, Palin said. That stuff's so nice. It's for the sake of just completing the game that we're stopping. We could have kept going. The downside of the methodology was that it could have lasted forever. From what I understand in the original article, they were basically saying, we have no deadlines, we have too much money, we can do whatever the fuck we want at this point. You realize if I don't stop drawing, this is going to take 15 years to finish. I gotta say, one of my favorite bits is people saying that like, no, you guys are rushing this, man. A rushed game is forever bad, or whatever the fuck Miyamoto said. Who gives a shit? Hollow Knight Silksong out September 4th, and I speak for everyone when I say, we don't want it! Hashtag cancel Silksong! Needs a remake, dude. It needs a remaster before it's even out, dog. The various reactions to Silksong's reasoning was like, it was never stuck or anything, it was always progressing. It's just the case that we're a small team and games take a lot of time. There wasn't any big controversial moment behind it. We're very fortunate that we have a development method that is so enjoyable. The team already has some ambitious plans ahead for post-launch / extra content to Silksong. Dude, this is how Silksong got ballooned into its own fucking game in the first place. It was supposed to be DLC for Hollow Knight 1. It's gonna happen again, man. We're gonna repeat this cycle until the heat death of the universe, and I, for one, couldn't be happier. I saw someone else say it, where it feels like Silksong might be like the most hyped indie game of all time, at least in like recent memory. I'd like to think Deltarune had like similar hype, but I feel like circumstances are a bit different, and Silksong, we've just genuinely been waiting for longer. It's like one of those things where I hadn't even played Hollow Knight until I started doing it for gameplay on this channel, and I do intend to actually commit to that and try and beat it before the sequel comes out next month, but it was just like a thing that everybody kind of understood as, this is never happening, it's not gonna get announced at any of these game showcased presentation shits. It was like a calling card for every single person out there who has any piece of media they're like starving for a new entry in, or that like they hadn't heard new information about in a while. Like, look at fucking Omni's reaction here, dude. The platonic ideal of a soy Jack face. The first guy I saw do it was Jacksepticeye putting on a clown wig and makeup when he was watching that Nintendo Direct that Deltarune got its Chapter 3 and 4 release date announced on. You can finally put away the clown costume. It's no longer a rallying cry for these people who have been waiting for news on their favorite franchise forever. It managed to cast the shackles off. I am Titanfall 3. I am Half-Life 3. I am Bloodborne PC Remaster. The Delusion Brothers, and then just fucking Hollow Knight gets to run off into the wind. I remember asking a similar question that some people are doing now, where it's like, when you actually do have Deltarune Tomorrow, what exactly do you do with yourself? Like, do you retire the meme or wait until like there's another one of these games to come out? I think in the case of Deltarune, that Deltarune Tomorrow will come back around, but for Silksong fans, like they'd need like a whole new game that takes another 6 years to come around in order to like like be able to revive this ship. Silksong fans, now what, LMAO? It's hard to know what you do with yourself after times like that, but I really do think discussion of the game will fill the short-term void at least. Now, there were like mixed opinions on the fact that if there was no real behind-the-scenes controversy and they were just adding shit all the time and that's why like it took so long, it's like, well, why couldn't you have shared information instead of keeping it quiet for 4 years? I don't think it was like intentionally they were creating an information vacuum to get people more and more frothing at the mouth for when they actually did have something to show. Really don't want to be a hater in this time of such joy and celebration, but Team Cherry's reasoning for not giving any updates for like 6 years may be the funniest thing I've ever read. Why didn't you say anything or give us literally any info or transparency at all? Nothing came to mind. Like, I can understand being annoyed that you think like the devs should have communicated with their community better, but the truth of the matter is like Team Cherry is like 3 fucking people as far as I'm aware, and then like a few extra employees. The other thing with that though is like doing devlogs where like you can share what's being done with your game and like the progress as it comes along. Like that is not a small undertaking, man. I do genuinely just like the idea that they had shed fucking nothing. They made like a small peep at the Nintendo Switch 2 Direct conference, and then when they do pop out and they're like, yeah, it's out in 2 weeks. Like, it's fucking awesome, man. This is a good bit. Mom, Dad, Silksong in Fortnite. That's right, 2 weeks. A fortnight is a unit of time equal to 14 days. 2 weeks. Fortnite spelled correctly. Now, we've discussed this phenomenon before, but in the vacuum of content or any news regarding like a piece of media's fandom, the fandom will eventually go stir crazy and just kind of self-immolate in order to fill in the gaps. One of the greatest examples I saw was Daily Silksong News, who I believe it was like 700 or so days after the original reveal of Silksong started posting like daily news on if there was anything over and over again, and they haven't missed a day in roughly like 5 years. The dedication that guy had to just continually fucking saying the same thing, like a gimmick account day in and day out, but like on YouTube, so higher effort, even if he was just re-uploading the same video over and over again. It's like the type of shit I just love to see. It's so respectable, man. I fucking love that guy. I don't know what he's up to now, but I think he has put in the work to be allowed to make this plea to this game devs of his studio. It would be like a fun little promo thing, maybe. Yes, at Team Cherry Games, you should totally make a guest appearance on the channel finale. My thing is like, is it gonna stop when like all the DLC content for the game is out, or is it gonna stop like when the game itself is out? Like, he is really committed to this, man, and like you can make that like Hello Neighbor trying to get MatPet to make a game theory on their game comparison all you want, but like, come on, man, he's really put in the legwork here. I know Jacksepticeye was happy as shit about this, man. Like, look at him, he's finally gotten to taking off the goddamn makeup. Obviously, I was gonna find a way to make this about Deltarune, and like Ace of Sprite Rico, one of my favorite pixel artists on Twitter at the moment, but I couldn't be happier for those guys, and I'm really motivated to like get back into Hollow Knight. As you guys saw, I was playing it in the background of like some of the earlier videos on this channel. My wife going into labor on Silksong Day. People just be desperate for attention, man. Like, it's not about you. Like, my fucking bum-ass kid decides to be born on the anniversary of Silksong. Like, anybody born on September 4th, from now on, I'm just gonna assume is a fucking attention seeker, man. The funniest bit is like, I've seen so little discussion about like what actually was revealed in the trailer. It's just hype that there's anything at all. Like, it's more likely that I'll see this gif of like just hitting a sick ass shot on the net than I am to actually see gameplay. Like, I have seen more like clown costumes and nooses left in the trash with the alcohol than I have actual shit about the gameplay. I'm excited, but also give me a moment. Patience, fans, be like, not yet, I don't know if I'm ready. 2 weeks, I've got shit to do. My studies. Yeah, they decided to release it like when a lot of people are going back to school, dude, so it's like, that is fucked up, I'll tell you that. I've seen multiple indie games say that they're also pushing their releases back. Like, coincidentally, they had a September 4th release date locked in months before this whole thing, and they're like, listen, dude, we put too much time in this to like risk it just getting eviscerated by the launch of Silksong. We're pushing that shit back, man. And to think that Silksong is such an anticipated release, it's the type of shit that people move around their games release schedules around for. Like, that's the type of shit you hear about AAA devs doing for like GTA 6. I guess I'm also just really happy to see an environment where games like Silksong that are made like on relatively modest budgets with like a smaller team can get to the size of notoriety that they have. Like, this is the type of shit that Bloomberg proper just covers because it's news. Like, it's a story that breaks beyond the barrier of like a niche, really exciting thing happening in gaming. I'm looking forward to it, man. I don't want to say that like this is how game devs should like always do the releases, because it still took 7 years years to come out, but it is like really nice to just get the announcement and then it's coming out in 2 weeks and you don't have to wait long. It's gonna be on Game Pass. It's a nice novelty, and that like only works in certain circumstances, but this time it did happen. I'm fairly sure the game's gonna be good. It's just like dopamine immediately. Give it to me now. Anyways, that's all I got for this video. That kwytebox email is in the description if you guys want to send me any video topics. Anyways, piss off.